Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and I got a quick reaction video for you guys. Griffin Gaming had watched my PlayStation video and reacted to it, and he reacted to the whole thing. I think he did it live, and then he uploaded the clip to his secondary backup channel, and then somebody, a person who doesn't even like my YouTube channel, had told me about it. So yeah, I decided to do this quick reaction to just one thing that he said. He agrees with some of the things I say, or most of the things I say in my video, except for the part about PlayStation being a financial success, or the PlayStation 5 that is, being profitable, being the most profitable or whatever. And I'm going to explain why that's bullshit and whatever once we get into the video here. But yeah, he basically just, this is like the only part, like this is at the very beginning where he tries to argue that PlayStation, but the PlayStation 5 is profitable. I'm going to explain why that's just complete BS. So let's have a listen. Console, which makes a lot of sense because, well, let's just face it, guys. PlayStation has not been doing well financially. I know people are delusional and they're like, well, they said they're doing well.
What? They're doing fine financially.
No, they're not.
They said that the PS5 is their most profitable system ever, and that they're making great profits. They're making great revenue. All right.
Yeah, they've already made more money in the PS5 generation than they did the entire PS4 generation.
Yeah, no shit, because everything costs more. That's the only reason. The prices for the PlayStation 5, the accessories, you could even argue the games themselves. And there's the fact that, PlayStation Network, their little fucking online service, costs way more than it did when it was on the PlayStation 4. So yeah, of course they're making more fucking money, but that doesn't mean that they're doing well financially. That doesn't mean that they're very profitable.
So, yes, it is their most profitable gen.
If that was the case, they wouldn't have to be laying off thousands of workers, shutting down
oh my god,
multiple studios. I think they've shut down 10
oh my god
studios or more this generation. And then look at all the games that they have canceled as well. So yeah, they're not really...
Yeah, but are those games worth releasing? No. See, that's the thing, man. That's the thing.
What's the thing? What's the fucking thing? And then he's talking about, are those games worth releasing or whatever? Never mind the fucking games. What about the studios? What about all the workers being let go? Like, he doesn't address that whatsoever.
Like, I don't think that's an indicator of financial success or, distress.
Yeah, it actually is. When they're shutting down studios that are pretty reputable, like Blue Point Games, why did they have to be shut down? Everyone was pissed off about that. All of the biggest PlayStation fangirls were just baffled that Blue Point Studios was shut down, because they were actually doing a pretty damn good job when it comes to remaking some of PlayStation's biggest first-party titles, like Demon's Souls.
Closing studios, if anything, it shows you their priorities are in the right place.
No, actually what it does show is that they have very fucking weak leadership, because how is it that they have a bunch of studios with thousands of workers that don't do shit? Like, why is that a thing with PlayStation, where they have hundreds of workers who are just sitting around on their ass and they're not making any games for them? I think that shows that they have no leadership, no leadership whatsoever. They can't really command any kind of respect. And then when they realize that they're losing money, that's when they start just shutting everything down and laying off workers.
Because why would you want to keep around people who aren't making stuff that's going to make you more money? At
Why aren't they making stuff in the first place? That's the real question.
a certain point, you just cut your losses. Why do you keep shoveling hundreds of millions of dollars to pay the salaries of people who are producing nothing? Like, just cut your losses and move on. That's the right business decision. So that's not really an indicator of financial success or not in the overall business.
Yes, it is when it's like multiple studios being shut down in just one generation. Yeah, that is kind of an indicator that they're not doing so well. Especially when they're shutting down studios that come on, London Studios, Blue Point Games, those two people were pissed off about. People can't believe that they shut those down. Then on top of that, what about Dark Outlaw Games, which was shut down very recently? As a matter of fact, Dark Outlaw Games, they were not given enough time to really do anything. They were started up in 2024, I believe, all the way to 2025, or was it 2025 to 2026, something like that. I think they started in 2025 and they were shut down in 2026. They only had 1 year. This was a studio that PlayStation had. This wasn't one that was acquired either, I don't think. I think this was one that PlayStation kind of just founded. They just started, And if I'm not mistaken, the guy who is most known for doing Call of Duty Zombies is the one who was the head honcho of it. I don't remember all the details, but all I know is they shut down after just one fucking year. So how do you explain that? They were only given one. There was not enough time given to see what they could do. So you can't just be like, oh yeah, they're just cutting their losses. Well, that's bullshit. I mean, Blue Point Games, London Studios, and then now fucking Dark Outlaw Games. Did those really have to be shut down? Or is it because they're losing money? They're not doing that well, right? People keep believing fucking PlayStation every time they say this is their most profitable generation. Do you also fucking believe them when they say that the PlayStation 2 sold 160 million consoles? When for the last 10 fucking years, it was only at 155 million. So yeah, it baffles me that people always believe the bullshit that PlayStation puts out there.
It's more so them making sure that all of their, cogs in the machine are turning as intended. And if they're not, then they get either removed or replaced.
Doing well financially, okay? If they were, they wouldn't have to be doing any of that shit. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Nintendo, they just bumped up the salary for all employees. So that kind of tells you...
Well, again, this comes back to the Japanese mentality versus the American mentality. In the U.S., you just hire people like crazy with little regard. Japanese companies hire people very deliberately, and most people...
All right, I guess that was it for the point regarding PlayStation, whether they're profitable or whatever. So this video was 27 minutes long, and it is worth checking out, but... Yeah, it's just him replying to my one video on PlayStation. But that's all I wanted to say in regards to that, because he thinks that PlayStation's profitable because, well, they said so, and they made more money than they did on PS4. That's stupid. Of course, that's to be expected. The PlayStation 5 costs more, accessories cost more. The PlayStation Network itself, the price has gone up with that also. So yeah, just because they made more money, that doesn't mean shit. They're shutting down studios, and yes, that is an indicator of financial distress, especially when they're shutting down studios that they really did not have to shut down. Studios that were actually pretty reputable, like Blue Point Games, like London Studios. Dark Outlaw Games, they weren't reputable, but they were only around for 1 year. So, they shut them down without even giving them a chance to actually make anything. So we can't just fucking pretend they're doing well financially. That's complete fucking bullshit. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And I'll talk to each and every single one of you guys later.